Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video. I know it's the day after Thanksgiving, but I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support and for watching my videos throughout the year. Also, I hope you had an outstanding Thanksgiving with friends and family yesterday. Now, you know that I was traveling down to Starbase over the last week. I got a chance to see some amazing sights, meet some truly enthusiastic people, and also get a chance to see one of the most amazing launches I have ever seen, and it was truly a special event, and I'm glad I had a chance to be there. Of course, now we're back at Giga Texas, and we only have 6 days to go to the big Cybertruck delivery event. And there's been some truly amazing images coming out recently of Cybertrucks being delivered and displayed at many of the showrooms around the country. And here's just 2 outstanding images that I've seen. And if that's not enough, I'm excited to say that I was invited to attend the Cybertruck delivery event coming up on the 30th of November. And I'm also going to be at the Cyber After Party hosted by the Austin Tesla Club. And it's going to be an exciting day, I'm sure. So since it's been about a week since I flew at Giga Texas, let's get in the drone, fly around, and I'm excited to see what is going on at the site today. If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Good foggy morning here at Giga Texas on the day after Thanksgiving, and it's been about a week since I last flew, so I'm going to use this as a partial me getting re-familiarized with what's going on, and also I'll be pointing out some things along the way. Now what we do see is these new telephone poles, and on the bottom left that conduit concrete vaults that have been installed. Also on this side, the materials seem to be mostly cleared out now on this new outbound lot. We also see that the trench work on the middle of the screen for some of the light poles in the middle section is underway, and the ones on the top have already been filled in. You can see some of the conduit sticking up out of the ground as well. And as I pivot back, you can also just get a good view of how this entire new outbound lot looks today. I'll bring the drone up to a slightly higher altitude, try to take advantage of the lighting as well, but just looks like a lot of progress in clearing out and finishing up a lot of the basic construction to prepare this area for probably some asphalt in the not too distant future. Looks like there's still a lot of activity with the West Warehouse on wheels, and a fence has been erected around that warehouse on wheels where the grade difference is on the left-hand side of the screen. Looks like there's also this cordoned off area with the materials staging. Some of this looks like it's most likely materials and equipment for inside now that the structure is essentially completed. We also see more of those concrete vaults for the conduit. And a large section here with the underground excavation with more concrete vaults, and of course a bit of a fence around for protection. Looks like all of the roof, all of the wall materials have been installed. You can see all of those open bays on the south end. The semi-transparent panels on this side of the structure, more trenching as well, and also the concrete vaults where we saw the last time I did a video, the work being with the concrete has all been filled in, and it looks like more of the steel corrugated pipe is being installed along this power line section, and this will be part of that water management system. And overall, the end-of-line facility looks like it's very close to being completed on the outside. I know there's a lot of work going on the inside. Now I'm going to turn back towards the main factory, take advantage of this slow day, and come back and take a look at where the end of that horizontal drilling operation is, and also it looks like the conduit installation that we last talked about is well underway. You can see those gray pipes coming from that kind of angled trench. It's now going into this concrete vault. And as I get closer, you'll be able to see how the preparation for the conduit to go through that HDPE pipe that has been pulled underneath the highway. And this again will connect this side to that new end-of-line facility for power and electrical service. So let's take a look a little bit more around this side of the site today. We're going to approach in to the west main entrance, get into the shadows to help with the lighting. And this is a pretty good view of how it looks today. And probably sometime next week we'll see this being cleaned up again for that Cybertruck delivery event. And speaking of Cybertrucks, as I maneuver the drone around here again, we can see 3 have been parked very close to this west main entrance in this new parking lot. And it has some of these signs for these particular Cybertrucks. And I'll try to get in close and maybe you can read what those say. But it's pretty neat to see just Cybertrucks pretty much everywhere around the site these days, and we're going to see plenty more on the east side. Give you a look here at these 2 loading platforms. The lower one has been moved from the angled corner onto this side. We also see these windows have been reinstalled between the 2 loading platforms. And in my previous video, we saw that the glass panels had been arrayed out here in preparation for that work, and that is now completed. We also see that the majority of the fill-in panels for what used to be the concrete wall panels and also the windows has been installed and stained white, slightly different colors, but eventually these are going to be interior walls, probably acting like a firewall, so it's not that big of a deal. We can also see a lot of preparation work here on the south end, especially onto that west side where we see that the grade has been improved and some more of those footings. Now, as I changed batteries out and came back to fly the drone, we can see some of the fog has moved in. It's very thin, so we're able to still see some of the details, and it will clear as I fly around this south end. But as I bring the drone down lower, you can get a good sense of the footing work that is underway in the middle. It's now well past that stamping tube extension. A lot of the concrete's already been poured for those concrete bases and more of the form work as well. We also see at the bottom of the screen through some of the fog, some of the perimeter grade beam on the south end has been poured with concrete, and that's very similar to what we see here on this steel structure where you see some of the forms and some of the concrete on the ground. We also see more of the beams waiting to be installed, and this is a good look at what that structure looks like currently. It does look like on this section here, they've actually poured some concrete onto what will be the second floor. And if you look at the columns, they have those kind of bands that will allow the next level of the columns to be installed, and it will connect them together. And that'll be for what will be probably the third floor. This corner section gives you a good idea of how the work is continuing with all of the footings even up against the wall, and just how this section is looking right now. You can also see that the footings cross the distance between the building and the steel structure, so it looks again like this will be all a what will appear to be a contiguous building under one roof when it's all done. And here's another look at the steel structure, and as I mentioned, the fog is already clearing. Just a interesting fog day when I arrived this morning. And as I bring the drone up, this gives you a good look at the south end and how the entire section is taking shape and changing And on the left-hand side, you can also see all of the steel items that are being temporarily stored here and waiting for assembly. Now, the multi-level parking garage construction site has transformed a lot in the last week since my previous video. We can see that there's actually vertical concrete structure going up for the main part of the multi-level parking garage. And I'll zoom in slightly to give you a good look at the footing work and some of the other concrete work that is underway in kind of the middle section. And we'll come back for a slightly closer view of that concrete structure in a moment. But I wanted to pull away towards the southeast, give you more of a view of how this site is transforming. At the bottom of the screen, you're going to see where a lot of the steel corrugated pipe has been installed in what used to be trenches. On the left-hand side, you can see 5 of the pipes emanating out of that filled-in trench. And it kind of goes in a direction just at the bottom right of the screen from the south to the north along this entire side. And it definitely looks like a lot of progress with that underground steel corrugated pipe, again, to help manage the rainwater that can inundate this site without this system. You can also see how the road is starting to take shape now that the underground pipes are installed. You can see on the bottom of the screen how it will go from the south to the north along this side of the new parking garage. And as we get in closer, again, more work on the footings. A lot of concrete has been completed. There's this center section with formwork and concrete being installed as well. And as I mentioned, we're going to get a good look at how this concrete structure looks on the left. Also appears that there's a trailer with possibly 2 concrete panels that have been delivered, and those will eventually be lifted into place. It may also be panels that are for the roof, so it'll be something that I watch, and you can kind of see how it has that appearance on that trailer. This is a good view of how this structure looks right now. The top of the columns appear to have the ability to continue going higher. Right now it's at what looks to be 3 levels, 4 levels if you count the current top section. But also we get a good look at some of the wall panels and how this is going to appear when it is completed. So overall, a lot of progress on this multi-level parking garage in the last couple of weeks. This is a good look at the testing and calibration lot, the helicopter pad. A lot of the Model Ys that are arraigned here, waiting to be moved over to the outbound lot. And of course, we see many Cybertrucks, one of which looks like employees had a really good time with mudding and off-roading this Cybertruck. If you're curious what the windshield wiper arc and how much of the windshield is cleared, this is a really good example of what that might appear like. But here we see 7 Cybertrucks kind of arrayed around this area. I will give you a zoom in here. You can take a look at the wheels without the wheel covers, and just again how muddy this particular Cybertruck is. But I think that all of these are the release candidate Cybertrucks that now that we're very close to production and also delivery, of the production variants of the Cybertrucks. I think that the employees are just going to be using these release candidates to the maximum extent possible, not only for enjoyment, but also for some more testing of the Cybertruck and all of its components. So I'll pull away here, give you a good view of all of these Cybertrucks. Actually, it looks like there's 8 of them here, and we saw 3 on the other side, and later on we'll see another one coming to the superchargers, and that one I will actually not have on video. I captured it after I was finished with the video, but that one actually had a Moroni sticker, which is a sales sticker on the dashboard, and that's pretty cool to see, especially with the Cybertruck delivery event coming up. The covered sections of the receiving doors are finished. We have trailers in that area, plus they're preparing more of the concrete. More of the electrical wires kind of on the base of the building and in this particular area, but most of it looks like it's connected. And when we go up to the switchyard, we're going to see that both of the transformers are now operational. This is a good view of many of the castings that are for Cybertrucks here on the east side of the casting machine structure. And there's more kind of in various different sections along this entire side. We also see those large pipe segments. Those are part of what is the, I guess you'd call it the flue of the kiln or the furnace for melting down the aluminum inside this section. In fact, here on the roof, we can see one of what will eventually appear to be 2 of these flues or chimneys to let the heat escape. You can see where one section is already cut out on the left, and then we can see where this pipe is emanating out. I have learned some additional information about the ducted fans and all of this vent work here. Apparently, this is not directly related to the furnace installation, but rather it has to do with trying to get good ventilation for the operation of the gigapresses, as some of the oil that is used and sprayed onto the platens to ensure that the castings can be released can cause some atmospheric issues, and they need to increase the ventilation. So I think that's what that is for. As I mentioned, there are more castings all over the place. Here are additional some castings on this side of the building. These look like they are most likely rear castings that are not cut, not milled, or trimmed yet. You can see some more of the rack mounts, and then here looks like trimmed rear castings for Cybertruck, at least about 16 of them as well, and then some more racks here with a variety of the Cybertruck castings also here on the northeast side of the building. So anyway, a lot of activity, a lot of changes on this side of the casting machine structure since I've been gone, and I think that all bodes well for the production of the Cybertrucks as we get closer and closer to that delivery event next week. On the north end of the building, this is a good look at how it looks with some of the equipment. The work continues on building out this expansion of the 4680 production portion of the building with more of those wall panels that have been removed. Some of the windows, and the amount of steel here is starting to dwindle as they complete the work on the inside. So a lot of progress apparently going on the inside here of this part of the building. And as I bring the drone up, this is a good view of some of the enclosures and vents associated with the 4680 production portion of the building. And as you can see, there's a lot of steam coming up. It's very cold today, and that's one of the reasons why we had so much fog. So let's get ready to cross over Tesla Road and take a look at the Megapack site. We crossed over that contractor material staging yard, we can see that the Megapack site itself looks very close to being finished. We have all of the lighting, the perimeter fence, all of the connections, so that gravel mix on the ground. And then on the north side, that control room looks like it's all connected. Most of the rest of the connections on this north equipment part of the Megapack site looks to be completed as well. They're just still working on that one rectangular section on the north underneath where we have those devices on top of where those three very large conduits come out of the ground, and you can see those black wires connected as well. And that will connect up to the north part of the electrical switch yard. Now, there is a big change on the electrical switch yard itself on the south end, so I want to show you that. I'll climb up over the power lines, and what we're looking at is that both of the transformers now appear to be operational, and the way I know that is that we have these disconnects. You have three on the right, three on the left. I'll try to zoom in, and you can see that they are all now connected, all six of them. And when I last had the video, this three on this side for this transformer were open, and they kind of motorized themselves open to break that connection. But now they all looked to be connected, so it appears that both transformers and the full operational capability of the electrical switch yard is now in play, and I think that's great news for Giga Texas, because this ensures a steady and reliable electrical power system to support the increase of production, not only for the Model Ys, but now with the Cybertruck and some of the other assembly line assembly that they are doing inside the factory. This is a good opportunity to take a look at some of the changes of the die shop and the battery cathode plant in the last week. The main thing is that on the south side of the die shop on the left, it looks like most of the equipment has been cleaned up, and possibly they are getting ready to start installing the glass on the entrance openings on that corner. We see more of the concrete poured here in the alleyway on both sides now, and then those pipes sticking up down the middle is where the underground steel corrugated pipe for the water management system is located. Many more of the tanks on both sides have been installed, and these four large Matheson tanks have been relocated back on their new reinforced mounts. The chiller plant looks like it's getting close to having most of the work done. We see one of the Evapco fans in operation this morning. And along the side of the cathode plant, we see a lot of that concrete and more of the nitrogen tanks. Plus, we see this center section has had a lot more of the geotextile membrane, more of the dirt put on it, and preparing for it to be either concreted or paved to finish out this entire section. As I bring the drone back here to the south side of the die shop, again on the right hand side corner, you can see where they're getting ready to possibly put the glass in for those main entrance section. And then on this side, one of the biggest things that I noticed is that pile of cut up concrete slab that was right here in the middle. You can see some of the remnants. This all came out of that large door on the right. So this means that maybe they've got all of that slab work inside completed, and they're getting ready to install some more equipment. And that'll be something I will look for over the next couple of weeks. The rest of this west side looks like it's continuing to be cleared out of materials. There's a lot less of these steel corrugated pipes as they are installed under the ground around this facility. And then on the north end here, it looks like the work is continuing to prepare this lift station where all those concrete vaults are next to this operating equipment that's kind of shaking right now. Kind of interesting, but this will give you a good view of some of the pipe work and that manhole cover on that rounded concrete vault, and how all of this appears now. It looks like it's mostly completed as far as the pipework installation, and they're doing some other earthwork around this area, maybe filling it in to get it to be at its completed state. On the northeast side, this gives you a good view of the material staging. A lot of the dirt that has been piled in many different piles. Also, it looks like there's different kinds. There's clean dirt. There looks like there may be some concrete broken up sections, and just a variety. And then on the top of the screen, we can see how those two large fields looks like with some of the materials that are still being stored there. These two stainless steel tanks are still waiting for installation at some point, and just a pretty good look at this northeast corner of the cathode plant. Next to the cell test lab, it looks like there's an area of the ground that's being graded. I don't know if this is going to be for future construction or maybe more of a parking lot. The wade pit still has water in it, most likely from rains, but there's also a lot of dirt being stockpiled next to the wade pit itself. And there's, to me, a lot less materials on this east side of the cathode plant. So more and more of that is just being installed inside the cathode plant. And the fact that there's a lot less is a great sign. We see work on concrete for one of the outfall channels into the water detention pond. And then the draining manifold system with these 4 pipes on the left looks like it's been making some progress, maybe even connected into the water management detention pond itself. And of course, more of the steel corrugated pipe going along this side of the berm of the water management system as well. Looks like it may be a secondary drain with that 90-degree turn into the pond itself. This is a good look at this side of the crash test facility and also the battery cathode plant itself. And as I mentioned, there's just a lot less material on this side. And as I pull away, a good overall view of the entire east side of the cathode plant complex of structures. And also on the bottom, some more of the materials, the storage containers, and some of the trailers for the contractors. As it is a day after Thanksgiving, it's kind of a holiday, so there's not a lot of production, not a lot of workers here today, and you can see that by the parking lots. But otherwise, a great video to just kind of get myself recaged and hopefully you with what all is going on here at Giga Texas. Next week again is the Cybertruck delivery event, and I can't wait for that as well. So lots to see coming up. As always, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a great weekend.